I suppose you could call it the realm of my conscious... it's nothing. I still have extreme sorrow and pain. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the loom of... But despite his intentions for... In truth, the person you see before you now is nothing but a... As for your question, in its primitive form, once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower level, but it also becomes a tool that can change the entire... Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi... After all. That. I was wrong to implant those memories. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world, as if... I know what you must be thinking. Why would I do something so... But I had to know what it would be like if I... Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life. Even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. One memory at a time. I know it sounds stupid. After all, any chance at living was stripped away, even the form you see before. I know. But there's nothing. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. But, well, that's not possible for me. I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight's sword, you mean? Exactly. The loom of fate has already been completed. No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. His plan was to lure... He would then hand the... That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure... That's right. Because... Before you two entered that false location.
Traveler. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory to be real. I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye. I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. creating in the face of everything they could be planning. I fear, in any case. I had my own. You remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic. I believe after he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form. To comfort me, my father told me a story. That this was a fairy tale world, where I had that story managed to dispel my fears. My goal was simple, to implant a specific memory. In that memory, I would tell them a story. I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right. All that's left of my existence is, but now...
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a conversation? The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you? That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even after 500 years. The loom of fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But there's still time before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria, there's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Yes? Such a flagrant disregard for the rules, and still Celestia took no action. However, the heavenly principles will await. You could say that, just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Quiet and peaceful. Even as a hilichurl, seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one. Ether?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you, but for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the End. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together. You told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me. Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean...
I miss you too, Ether. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes, let alone my own brother.
Huh? What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our inability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Still so sleepy. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. They couldn't wake us up no matter how hard they tried. Oh, and Dane came by just now. It looked like he didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were all right and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's Dane. Let's think for a second. We were in that map. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon... Wait. Well, what happened after that?
Ah, there you are. Sleep well.
Bayram? You sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? It's just that, well, so there we were. According to him, one day around dusk, he was passing by this one tree. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later to wake, and after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Oh, and we also remembered his name, Curry Bear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner. Well, I hope he's happy.
Seems like everyone thinks Curry Bear left the village. That's probably for the best. At least they have some... Paimon wonders how Atosa's doing. Paimon didn't see her in the village just now, so she's probably at the... Atosa, how's it going?
Oh, it's you two. I was just about to go looking for you. I wanted to thank you. I was part of the search party, so I remember what happened to Kari Bear now. Honestly, I just can't believe he always seemed to appear out of nowhere, and now if Kari Bear wants me to forget about the time we spent together, then I relied on him for a lot of things. But I'm sure with enough time. Okay, I'll admit. I was dumb. Otherwise, why would he just leave like that without saying You don't need to come. It's just like Kari Bear said. It's the things we overcome that make life. And you know, if he has a heart, maybe he'll come back and see me when. Anyway, thanks for all.
Well, that should be it, right? Oh, right! A pic? It's been a while since we visited. Remember when we chased? Huh? What's that? Paimon doesn't think they look. Is.